Okay. So how does a husband know when his wife is planning to leave their marriage? Well, we never know for certain, but we can pick up on the behaviors that they exhibit. So I'm going to go over them and give you my take and the benefit of my 30 years of experience in marriage. So I'm going to go through these really quick, but stay with me, okay? At the end, I'm gonna give you 3 strategies that can help you, that you can try to implement, that'll help you, if you're having problems, or if you're having bad problems, if you're having all kind of problems and everything is chaos in your marriage, or if you're worried that, boom, things ain't like they were, or things are not going smoothly, then you could think about these things and start trying to implement in your marriage. Okay. Number 1, your wife, does she seem distant? So that's a big one. That kind of encompasses a lot of things, but your wife, if she seems distant, man, like she's not really into you, she's not, she's not the same person she was, she's not acting like she was, and this is just a general, thing, for you to watch out for. That's one of the first clues. Number 2, is she spending more time with her single friends? First of all, this stuff out here today, this is not how God wants it, okay? Single women, married women shouldn't be with single women. Why? Because single women have different objectives than married women. That's why mostly in the older days, you saw married women with married women and single women were single women. And the married women always kept their husbands away from the single women. It's not personal. It's just the way it is. So if your wife has started hanging out with her single friends, then that means that she's starting to become disconnected with her marriage. And it's something that you should be looking at. Number 3, does she seem uninterested in the marital embrace? That's a big one. If I'm going to go into 2 of the big keys here in a little bit about it, but right now, are you guys making love? I mean, when you do, is it like it was? Is it getting worse? Is it the same? Is it improving? I mean, or is she just bored? She's not even into it. You have to bribe her or ask her all the time, okay? Number 4, is she still as supportive as she used to be? This is a huge one. If a woman loves you, she's supportive. Whenever somebody jumps on you, she's like a mother bear. She slams them. Is your wife is not supportive of you anymore? Or she's not being, supporting you and when your thoughts and your business and things like that, when you're at home, if she's not supporting your decisions with the kids, oh my God, man, you in trouble, dude. You're in trouble. Next, is she still as loving as she used to be? Now that's another one. Loving is a little different than support. Loving is, how she speaks to you, her loving voice. She does things for you without asking. She's really, she's kind of protective of you. She hugs you a lot and she's loving. You're her husband, you're her beloved. When that starts to change, it's a big thing too. Also, does she go out to clubs and events without you? That kind of goes along with the single friends. If your wife is going out to clubs or events without you, that can be a big problem. Because what happens is if she's going out with her friends all the time, first of all, if you're not her best friend, you're already in trouble. If you're not your wife's best friend, you're already in trouble, okay? Because who's she going to tell her secrets to, her wants, her desires, her needs when you do something wrong? Your wife should be coming to you with all her inner thoughts, her desires, her dreams, her expectations for your marriage. And if you guys aren't talking about that and she's not coming to you, she's going to do what? She's going to go to her friends because women like to talk. They like to feel close. So she feels close to her friends than she does to you. She's going to start going out with them and spending more time with them, her friends. And when a woman's not going out to things with you, then we got a problem. Next, does she take longer to answer your texts or phone messages? That's one that all men, they pick up on that one quick most of the time, unless they're just, not even really into what's going on. But, and when I call my wife, she picks up, dude. It's been like that for 20, 30 years. When if she don't pick up, that means she's left her phone. She'll see it and call me right back. I'm the same with her. If my wife texts me, I text her back. You got to decide. I mean, if your woman is not engaging with you or taking long to text you back and phone you back, I mean, that's a clue. That's a clue that something's not right. Next, has her conversation with you become very short and to the point? That's another one. You know, you used to have long conversations when you're dating, when you first got married. All of a sudden now you can't get her to say nothing to you. You know, everyone when she does is like, yes, no, maybe. She doesn't really think about the words she's saying. She doesn't want to have a conversation. She's always trying to get away. Next, has the bickering increased? I don't mean arguing, I mean bickering. Bickering's like, you know, you irritate each other, you're frustrating each other. You're always frustrating her, whereas before she was real loving and supportive. All of a sudden now it's like, you know, you say something and she gets irritated and she gets, you know, she wants to bicker with you just on little silly stuff. The next one, has your arguing increased? That's not, you arguing in front of the kids, slamming doors. Nobody cares who's hearing when you argue. Nobody, you don't care. You know, she's crying. You want to cry. You want to hit her, but you don't. You know, she wants to hit you, but she does. So, you know, that's another thing to look for. The next one, number 11, has she started putting the kids, her parents above you? That's another one. If your kid, you are, in your wife's eyes, you're number one. Women have killed their kids over boyfriends leaving them. So this is how bonding, how much important this is, man. If your wife continuously in your marriage has put the kids above you, there's a problem, because that's not how the order goes. The order goes God, husband, wife, children. Her job is to serve you. Your job is to serve her. And when she starts putting the kids above you, their needs, they're important, and start neglecting you, then you're in trouble. That means she's getting disconnected from you. The next one, number 13, does she seem unusually depressed or unhappy? Unhappy is a big one. Depressed is a big one. You know, does she not want to get out of bed? Is she not like doing her hair or putting makeup on? Is she's not dressing nice? You know, she seems droopy around you a lot. She's always complaining that something's wrong. That's another one. Number 14, has the marital embrace been reduced to less than once a week? If you guys aren't making love at least once a week, how you going to build closeness? If you're going 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, a year without making love, how you expect to build closeness and intimacy in your marriage? Having sex less than once a week is a big clue. It goes along with the other, her being interested, but when it starts dropping below a week, before you can't even make love once a week, there's a problem. Next, but even more severe, are you making love less than once a month? That's a sexless marriage. That means you're having sex, you know, 3, 4 times a year, maybe, not even that. So intimacy, the spiritual embrace, is a huge, huge thing, man. That says a lot. Number 16, has she lost weight for no apparent reason? This is one men pick up on sometime, but then they just put in the back of their mind. Is your wife lost weight for no reason? She going to the gym all the time. All of a sudden, you know, she's working out, trying to look good. You know, that's a clue. I'm not saying that's the problem, but that's a clue for you to look to other things. Does she get her hair done more often for no apparent reason? Has she started going to beautician? She used to go once a month. Now she's going every week. You know, what's going on? Why is that happening? I'm not saying that that's a problem. I'm just saying, you know, when women start doing things, they're very intelligent. They don't do things for no reason. And so it's important to you to look at yourself and seeing, what am I doing to cause these things? The next one, does she dress nicer or more provocative for no reason? You know, those 3 things I just talked about: hair, weight, and dressing. Those are big clues in one thing. Look at that, make a decision, and start talking. See, all this stuff really, man, boils down to communication, man. You know, if you're not, these things are going on because your wife doesn't feel close to you. You're not communicating with her. You don't talk about none. The only thing you talk about is money and business, food, or responsibilities around the house. You don't sit down and talk about anything of any relevance to your marriage, things that make you guys love each other. And those 3 things I just talked about are a big thing if they're going on. You just got to notice them. These are all clues, man. You just got to notice them. Next, Has she started blaming you for everything wrong in the marriage? Oh my God. Has she started blaming you for everything wrong in the marriage? That is a huge one. You can't seem to do nothing right, whereas before it wasn't no big deal, but now it is. You're not arguing at her, but she's like on you with every little thing. Are you the problem? That's in her thing. You're the problem. You're why I'm unhappy. You're why I'm unsatisfied. She's blaming you for everything. And what you have to do, man, is get all that in the bud, man, and start talking to her and getting her to understand that you still love her and ask her to tell you what's wrong. What can you do to help? But no, most men don't do that. Like I said before, you say, I'm going to take care of that later, but later never comes. Lately, has she been lately you are beating her home when before she was already home? That's a subtle one. All of a sudden, your wife was there to greet you, or she was there cooking dinner, or she was there with the kids. All of a sudden now lately you're coming home and she ain't there. Her and the kids gone all the time. That's her neglecting her duties, not wanting to be around. She wants to do other stuff because she doesn't feel connected to you anymore. So she doesn't want to do anything for you. She don't want to serve you. Next, you can't seem to make her laugh anymore. Oh man, that's huge. It's simple, but it's huge. If you most women, they laugh at their husband's jokes even when they ain't funny. And when you guys first were together, I guarantee you made her laugh. So that's how you got close to her. Now, no matter what you do, she's not laughing. That is a huge clue, huge clue, man, that she's been out the door, or she's planning, or she's just completely unhappy. Okay? You got to fix that. You got to get in her head, man, again, and ask her. And all this stuff, like I said, comes down to you manning up, having a conversation, and showing her that you still love her, that you're into her, and that you're going to put her above everything. Okay? You no longer, number 22, you can no longer see her phone or even find it because it's locked. Before, okay, I'm going to give you an example. Most close couples that are really married, they love each other, they don't hide stuff like phone. They don't lock phones. My phone is in front of everybody. My kids can get on my phone. You know why? Because I ain't had nothing. I don't care. My wife is the same way. None of us have locks on our phones. And if we do, I know the code, or she knows the code. My kids can get on my wife's phone. Even my older kids, my grown kids, they get on my stuff. Nobody knew. We don't keep secrets. So if your wife's phone is locked, you can't get in, or you can't find her phone, that is a huge clue. Something ain't right. Okay? Next, number 23, she no longer keeps tabs on you or asks where you've been. When she loves you and more importantly, when she thinks you loves her, she's worried about you. She wants to know where you are. Why aren't you home? Are you okay? She's calling you, making sure you good. If she's not doing that anymore, you got a problem, man. You got a real problem. Okay? Number 24, she seems not to care that you are spending more time with your friends. This kind of goes to rule 23, but it's different. Whereas before, you stay out all day long on a Saturday and she hadn't seen you all week. You stayed out all day on the golf course with your friends and you come home, she's like, you ain't gonna spend no time with me. Why are you out with your friends all the time? I've been seeing you all week, blah, blah, blah. Now she don't care. She don't say nothing. She don't even mention it. Okay? Next, number 25. She seems indifferent to you. She's now emotionally disconnected. Man, indifference. Man, my first wife got like that when we were seriously proud, and I've seen it in so many women. This indifference is the killer. It's the killer, because that means she's basically checked out. If she's indifferent to you, she's emotionally disconnected. You can't get a rise in her. She don't care one way or the other. She's like, well, he's here, he ain't here, whatever. Man, please, dude. You need to get with somebody, get some help on that one, because she has checked out. And when they check out, anything left the house, it's hard to get them back, man. It's hard. You need help with that one. Okay. Next, her hugs and kisses seem shorter. That's a no-brainer. We always pecking, don't want to really hug. If you do, she does hug you, it's real quick. She don't really want to, you know, that's a clue. Next, she no longer looks at you or makes loving eye contact. You know, I know me and my wife, I'm 54, she's 55. We love each other. We've been together for 30 something years since we were 12 years old. And even I married my first wife, and when my wife died, I just happened to see my wife at a mall, and that's how we got together. You know, my wife is always looking at me. Dude, that is a big clue. My wife, she looks at me in a certain way, and I look at her in a certain way. And we know what that means. And if you're not having that lovingly eye contact, that's another clue. That's a problem. Okay. Number 28, she is keeping secrets, being vague, even when you ask her. So basically, whenever you talk to her, she's vague. She's got secrets. She's on the phone with the door closed. She's out in the car. She's not coming home. She's out. You ask her where she's been. Oh, I was at the store. She at the store. Okay, but the thing is, man, when this stuff starts happening, you got to nip it in the bud and find out what the problem is. Okay. Number 29, does she increasingly need more time alone? Not being sneaky or whatever. She just wants to be by herself. She don't want to be around the kids. She don't want to be around you. She wants to take trips by herself, be on her own, not because she's necessarily messing around, but she just don't want to be around y'all no more. Why? Because she didn't feel loved by you. Another thing too, man, whether you think all this stuff is unwarranted, it really don't matter what you think, because her feelings to her are facts. This is how she feels. This is how it goes. And that's how it is. That's her reality. And so you as her husband have to realize that and start trying to solve these and get her back to the wife that you need, take care of her needs so that she will begin taking care of your family and your needs again. Okay. And lastly, this is probably the biggest one that I've said. Your gut as a husband tells you something's wrong. That's it. That's basically it. Your gut tells you something's wrong. And if your gut's telling you something wrong, it probably is. That means no more can you be putting it off till later. Okay? So that's all 30 of them. That's 30. I went through it pretty quick, and we've been talking for 28 minutes, so hang with me, man. Hang with me, man, because I got the solution to help you a little bit. And even if you want more help, we can go there. So give me 10, 15 more minutes, man, and we out of here. So here's the deal. I've just named those 30 things, those 30 problems, 30 behaviors, whatever you want to call them. And many men will say, there he goes, blaming me. And you know what I say to that is, look at that list. At that list that I just read off, 30 things. And if any of these problems apply to you and your marriage, I want you to ask yourself and take a second and ask yourself if there's anything that you could have done to prevent this stuff from happening in the first place. And if you honest, man, you be like, yeah, that's my woman. I know my woman, and I know how she is. And I could have took care of a lot of that stuff. I could have really took care of that, but I didn't. And that's what I had to do to myself, man. I had to admit to myself that, a lot of stuff, man, if I was the man my first wife needed, which I'm not making an excuse. I really didn't know. I thought I did. And that's one of our problems. We think we know everything. We don't know a damn thing. And so my second wife, I was doing the same thing. If I could have took care of stuff before they got to they started, like, if your wife is only spelling one or two of those things, you're probably okay. But man, she started getting a 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 of them. Man, you behind. You behind the 8 ball for real. Okay. So, okay, let's say you're still going, well, yeah, man, I understand you, man, but still, you always, everybody today is always blaming the men. Well, first of all, you're the leader, so the leader is responsible. So I hate to say it, God put you in charge as the leader. Whether you want to man up or I want to man up or anybody wants to man up and not man up and do that, That's on us. But the way the natural order, the way it works, that's the way it works. Men, we're the leader. When things go wrong, God blames us. And I'm sorry, it's not saying it's fair. It is what it is. So let's say you still thinking, okay, Jerry, that's that's messed up. I get tired of everybody blaming us for everything, being for everything. Okay, so is the chaos of divorce better? Is it divorce better? So is her leaving better? All the paperwork in the divorce, the time spent at the lawyer's office, the endless hours of preparing for court, the custody battle over the kids, only getting to see the kids once every other weekend, all the wasted money and resources, losing the house, losing the property, losing your cars, her treating you like a complete stranger, which will hurt like hell because it happened to me. I've been there. You have to get a part-time job to make ends meet to pay for court and the lawyers and all that stuff, to pay child support, having now to go to separate churches, because you don't want to be in the same church with her and she don't want to be in the same church with you, everybody looking at you, not being around your friends because, those are her friends too, okay? The kids growing up with split up parents, hoping the kids will be okay, knowing deep down they won't be okay in a divorce. Your kids are never okay. Me and my sister, my parents got divorced when I was like 17 years old. My sister was like 15, and me and my sister ain't never got over that. Never. And we never do. And never will. Okay? And lastly, the kids as adults have no examples of a good marriage, and so they quit too, just as the parents did. That's it, dude. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you right or you wrong. All I'm saying is, man, pay attention to your woman, man. Pay attention, man. Take care of this stuff, dude. Get this stuff before it goes wrong. And if you're here right now, it probably is wrong. It's gone wrong. But hey, I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna help you out. Okay? So the question is, though, wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be so much better, as a matter of fact, to come home to peace, happy, a loving wife who loves, respects, and is completely devoted to you, just like she was when you guys were dating or first married, or even better, just an all-around beautiful marriage and family? Is that what you want? Of course you do. Of course you do.